I've been thinking a lot lately about the importance of relationships. And no, I'm not talking about the kind of relationship like between Ron and Hermione. It's finally beginning to feel like summer here in Minnesota, which means that we all get to happily leave our houses and say hi to our neighbors who we haven't seen in months. We get to go for long walks, experience neighborhood art festivals, or just sit on the grass and contemplate nature. And I can't help but think that the simple beauty of these experiences is deepened because they're all about relationships. Relationships between people, relationships between our body and the warm sunshine, relationships between bugs and grass and trees and wind. The whole world is bursting with relationships. In humans, our reliance on relationships comes from a deep need for social connection. Early in human existence, it became really essential for humans to rely on one another in order to survive. Infants are biologically programmed to seek out relationships with adults. And throughout the years of growth from infancy into adulthood, children rely on adults to provide safety, stability, and guidance. These early relationships teach us about our world and what to expect from it. Early on, psychology researchers were really interested in the power of relationships and how they shape later development. They came up with the term attachment to describe the close personal bonds that exist between caregivers and children. These attachment relationships are really important early on in life, but they continue to be essential for health and well-being across the lifespan. The development of attachment relationships between caregivers and children early in life occurs through a series of back and forth interactions. Through these seemingly meaningless daily exchanges, infants begin to learn about the stability and predictability of the environment around them, and they learn whether or not to trust a caregiver as a source of safety and comfort. We can describe these exchanges by using a tennis metaphor of serve and return interactions. In a tennis match, one player serves the ball across the net, and the other player tries to return the serve, and so on and so forth. Babies and caregivers interact in very similar ways. So for example, when a baby squeals or coos, a mom might look at him and smile. And when a baby cries, maybe a dad picks him up and holds him and rocks him gently to help him calm down. These types of simple back and forth interactions that happen hundreds of times a day early on in life help babies learn that their caregivers will respond to them when they need them. So what happens when serve and return interactions go bad? To go back to the tennis metaphor, what happens when one player hits the ball over the net too hard or hits it to a place the other player can't reach it? Well, the game can get pretty frustrating pretty quick. If a baby squeals or coos and a caregiver doesn't respond, or responds negatively, or is inconsistent in their response, babies will quickly learn that caregivers can't be relied on for comfort and support. Sometimes when a baby cries, an adult might respond with anger or indifference. Sometimes when caregivers neglect to respond, babies may try even harder to get their attention, which might just make the adult more frustrated. If this cycle continues, babies eventually learn that their caregivers are not consistently responsive to their needs, or worse, the caregiver is a source of threat. Then babies may completely disengage with their caregivers or be distressed by their presence. Often caregivers respond this way because they are stressed or they're experiencing some hardship of their own. Caregivers may struggle to control their own emotions and respond constructively to their baby's cries. But if caregivers can get support from people around them and begin to cope with their own emotions, they can become more responsive to their baby's needs. In turn, this begins to teach babies some basic and valuable lessons about learning how to cope with their own emotions. In short, I'll just say, relationships matter. They're the building block upon which all of our development is built, and they are essential throughout our lives. We're reminded of this constantly, sometimes in small ways, when we least expect it. Like on a beautiful summer day at the park, when this little bug crawls into this tiny flower, searching for the sustenance that will keep it alive. Relationships with the people who we care about and who care about us are our sustenance. Next week, why this tree reminds me of another important developmental truth. Context is everything. That's what she said. Wait, no. Remember to like it if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and in the meantime, tell me in comments, what do you value most about the relationships you have with others? Until next time.
I'm distracted by the kayaks.